Yes, people. Yes, people. As you know, I'm your host of the most, the Bridge 258. You know who I am. I hope you're all having a good day today, as I always say. Please make sure, of course, to like, share, subscribe, as always. I always say beforehand. But listen, man, let's get into the nitty gritty. You know what I mean? The real deal, as I like to say. Obviously, as you guys know, last night we did a stream on here after the Ornstein news, in which we report at midnight for some reason. He's giving us midnight news, or was like if not midnight, 11. It was 11:30 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. In regards to Enzo Maresca and Thomas Frank being the last two guys on the list. Now it's been now the news today, midday. I always say Chelsea midday, and the news agents they love midday for some reason. It's looking like Enzo Maresca now is set to be appointed as the new head coach for Chelsea Football Club. And listen, man, as I've always said before, man, these mystery fourth man should not have listened to it. But listen, let me bring up the tweet first and foremost. And that is, of course, from Fabrizio Romano. And as he says, Chelsea are advancing in talks to appoint Enzo Maresca as new head coach. Pauses talks over the weekend. He is 100% keen and excited for the CFC project. No issues on Maresca's contract already been discussed. Talks to follow Leicester City over 10 million euro compensation fee, which is, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm getting it to euro to pound correctly, in and around about £5 million. So again, a lot of money going to be paying for this guy, whether people want to admit it or not. It's looking like it's going to be definitely Enzo Maresca as your new man, as your new head coach. Obviously, first and foremost, want to hear what your thoughts and opinions are. I know yesterday a lot of us were not too happy in regards to the Enzo Maresca signing, me included. You know, I don't know, man. Personally, for me, as I said before previously, and I'll say it again. You know, I'm not seeing it, man. I'm not seeing it personally. I'm not seeing it, and I think a lot of the reason for me is it's not even trying to be disrespectful to the championship. It's just that the championship level and then the going into the EPL level is such a big gap, you know, and that is not even going again without a top six team. You know, you're not even going to a top six team. You're going into what's it called? Sorry, a regular team, which is a mid-table, like a Leicester, trying to get into the mid-table. You know, maybe fighting relegation. You're now going from Leicester, you've just promoted from the championship and going into a top four team where UCL top four and some level of a trophy, or if not being in the finals to compete for trophies, is gonna be expected of you, and that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. You know, I don't know why people do not want to hear that, do not want to believe that, but that is gonna be 110% of the time very, very tough. And but whether people want to admit it or not, it's going to be very, very hard. In particularly with a guy like Enzo Maresca, a guy that we that his experience is very limited. You got to have to give this guy time. You know what I mean? We can't if he has a bad stretch of form. These guys can't go and turn around and then start saying, we're gonna sack you, and then we're just gonna bring in Saskin as a assistant manager, because then that's just gonna be stupid. If you got me. Big up to Summer Surfer, you know what I mean? Surface all account, as they say. They fumbled the Zer because they want a beta male that can control. Fair enough, that's your opinion. Bro, the appointment does not match the ambitions of this is what I'm saying, Mike Majors, by the way. Yeah, big up to you. That's the issue that I have, by the way. Fundamentally speaking, yeah, you're asking for an appointment. Again, you're asking for an appointment who's come from the championship, who's got a limited experience, to in his first season get get into top four UCL, and at least win a trophy, or if not, compete to get to the final of that trophy. You're asking a lot from that guy. You know what I mean? I understand, yeah, if you were to give that even to, if you were to even say, hypothetically speaking, Thomas Frank, who I didn't want, by the way, right? And we brought him in and you gave him that level of pressure onto him, I would have understood that. The problem is you're giving it to a guy called Enzo Maresca. Like, literally, this is what you're doing it to. I just personally do not understand, the logic in regards to that at all, personally. And here is this one. So I'm going to bring this up to make this bigger, and so you guys can. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let me know if you can't. So obviously it was first reported by Jay Percy of the Telegraph that Enzo Maresca is a Chelsea's top target ahead of Roberto De Zerbi, and Chelsea have officially asked for permission to speak of him. Summer Surfer quickly says, as much as I hated Poch, these directors have not thought this through at all. At all. This won't get fans on side, and the players love Poch. How would they take this? Again, bro, at the end of the day, one thing I will say in regards to the play section, they don't have control who the manager is, in it. So they're contracted Chelsea Football Club, not the manager. So at the end of the day, man, they're gonna just have to hold it. That's just the reality of life when you're a player at a big club. Bro, XG now, this is pretty much official, bro. All the guys are reporting. Fabrizio saying now we're literally in contact with Leicester, trying to agree the fee now to pay for it. So, my friend, this is just the reality. So, I know that a lot of Chelsea fans not willing to accept that reality, but this is where we are right now. And last night, again, I repeat, on all seen releases news last night, I knew De Zerbi was not happening. Again, he was saying, I think the key thing about what he said as well in particular was when he was saying known targets, by the way, too. Known targets. That was very deliberate by him because he was literally trying to, make it known that anyone that's unknown literally has no chance, bro. And for me, it is kind of like, diabolical, if I may say so myself, that the two options that you had to pick between as a manager is Thomas Frank and Enzo Maresca, bro. I don't know how else to say it like that. That is disgusting, man. That's just for me personally, man. It's disgusting. It's despicable to say the very least. Mike may just say, I will say that Enzo's system will suit most of our players. I am basing this off what he has said on the coach's voice. Do you know, guys, I've said this before. There's been a theory going around between me and some of my good friends, who are Chelsea fans as well, that Chelsea have been watching coach's choice for their next new manager. McKenna, I think, has a video. Thomas Frank definitely has a video. Enzo Maresca, of course, has a video. Potter, back in the day, had a player's choice video, if you remember, his Brian time. De Zerbi, I think, has a player's choice video. Listen, Chelsea and the coach's choice, man. Coach's choice need to be getting a feet off us because we're watching their videos to get something like that. Big up to Santiago, of course. Hope you're doing well. And Jay Percy, basically, he goes on to explain why apparently he's been picked. Oh my! Listen, I hope not, bro. Listen, I hope not because we can't be doing this, running this thing like of how it was with Arteta. Like, oh, Arteta's the new Pep, so we got to take him to Arsenal. We can't be doing that, bro. We can't be doing that. Surely not, bro, man. Listen, man. As I will say, and I've said previously, coach's choice. You need to be throwing up Chelsea Football Club and taking a piece of their money because of the amount of managers we've taken from you. But again, so according to Jay Percy, as I've said previously, Maresca impressed in talks and is viewed as the ideal fit at Chelsea. He focused on possession-heavy football. And again, bro, like we get that. Yeah, listen, again, he can suit your style of play. He can suit the players. The issue is, again, and I will come back to it again, isn't necessarily that. Does he have the mentality? Can he handle the pressure? You know what I mean? You're going from Leicester City to this. It's going to be a big difference, bro. And this is the thing, I come back to. I don't know with a lot of these guys. It wasn't just even with Maresca I had this. Maresca is greater. McKenna was greater. Thomas Frank was slightly because he's at Brentford. He's been at least an EPL club. So there's some level of pressure there, right? But in particular, these two guys are bringing in championship experience, dude. Can they handle the heat? Because he's been at Parma previously as well. By the way, he was in that Serie B side, and if I'm not mistaken, he went on a bad loss and wasn't able to go through. So, listen, that's another thing we have to consider that too. You know what I'm saying to you? So again, we need to think about what the current options are and what are their strengths and weaknesses, to say the least. But going forward. Obviously, this is the Fabrizio Romano tweet. I already told you guys about this one. Let me read some of your comments because a lot of comments coming in now. Big up to my guy Camel. Always a pleasure to see you, my brother. Why are we signing? Oh my God! All right, that was crazy. Should not have looked at that. Big up to Zubair. He says we are getting Maresca and we just got to see what he's about, crying over it when it hold pass in anyway. Let's see what he's about till he gives us a reason not to. Then we will hold the ball accountable. Oh, of course. But again, I think the thing is, yeah, when he comes in, I'm pretty sure everyone will back him in it. You know what I mean? Whether he's the manager, of course he's gonna get the backing of the fans from day one. That's me included, by the way. You know what I mean? You got to back the manager whether we like it or not. He's here now. You just got to back the manager and to see what he does with the players. But you can, as a fan, question why this is taking place. What is the school of thought behind this? And do you even agree with that school of thought? And that's the issue that I have, really. So that's the thing for me, Zubair. Big up to my guy, Adrian. Pep lights at the wall. There's too many Pep lights right now, man. Mike says my biggest issue is the clear underappreciation of experience. This I agree with, bro. But I think the issue is the current experience out there right now. This is me kind of like, again, this is me being unbiased, by the way. If I'm looking at it realistically, Tuchel, for example, I know many of Chelsea fans want. I personally wouldn't want, for example. He's experienced, but clearly there's like something that's going on between him and the club that's not been patched up. So he's off the list. If we're being honest about Mourinho, great manager, one of our best managers of all time, no doubt about that, Mourinho. But the issue is his style of play doesn't suit A, what the club is asking for, and B, if we're being honest about Mourinho, his style of play, at least at the big clubs, is getting dated. And that's just for me personally. Again, we can disagree on that one. If you're willing to accept Allegri ball, if you accept Allegri ball, hey, I'll put my hands up. I'll take Allegri ball if you guys are happy for Conte plus. That's all I'm saying. If you can accept that and you want that, I'm happy to do that again. That's all I'm gonna say. So, but then after that, there's not really elite managers. All the other guys are locked up. Even if you were to say bring in Xavi Alonso, yes, he's won the Bundesliga. We need to see repetition. A lot of these guys, after the elite guys necessarily, we've only seen one season from them. So, for example, I know guys went to Sebastian Hoeneß. I've only seen one season of him at the Bundesliga with Stuttgart do what he's doing. So a lot of these guys, the experience isn't there right now. Like, the elite manager market is dry. It's cooked. So that's something that, if I'm being honest about, we have to be something. If I'm being honest, we have to think about too. X Gina says this is too big of a risk to take. Surely he complained about new squad and experienced players for his time at Parma, by the way. Yes. So X Gina, I think for me, if we're being honest here, again, this is a good comment. I have to say first and foremost. I think for me, the issue that you have, and my personal opinion, is this. The sporting directors have to be, in my opinion, in large chance saloon. I'm pretty sure none of us here probably like the directors, at least in their choices, in terms of what they would personally want. But in terms of like the choice, this has to be large chance saloon. So after this, you have to be getting heads have to roll, or they have to get sacked after this, because this is the third manager they picked now. Potter, obviously, you've then had Poch, and now you've got Maresca. So those are the three that so you can only have 3 hit strike rate at this point. So they have to make sure after this that they have to be, bye-bye, out of the door straight away, first and foremost. Secondly, right, in order for this year, the ownership as well need to be making sure that this choice, is right. I if you were to believe that they wanted De Zerbi and the sporting directors wanted Maresca, they have to make sure that the directors made a plea or promise that this is their guy, this is the guy we're going to pick. We don't want De Zerbi. Simple as that. So that's all I have to say in regards to that. For the directors, it has to be last chance saloon. That's all I have to say on that one personally. What is it? Adrian says, the manager appointments have all been underwhelming. It shows a lack of ambition and reckless risk taking. This I agree with. I think it's a lot of risk that we've taken at Chelsea, whether it be obviously in the way they were trying to bring in a lot of these younger players and hoping they become great players, of course, which is some of the model that we're doing, whether it be even the managers, obviously with Potter and then Maresca. I wouldn't say Pochettino himself personally is a risk, because he's a known quantity at the end of the day. So those two in particular are risks. Now, even I think the whole thing's based on a lot of risk. Like, listen, at the end of the day, my job that I do personally as an engineer, civil engineer, Of course, you're going to do a lot of data. There's a lot of data about, right? But the data doesn't always, sometimes with certain stuff, the data obviously will process to real life. But sometimes when you're doing statistical data, when you're looking at the actual XG data that from the game, that can be in game. This is what you should have gotten. But then there's reality. There's other factors in regards from the whatever the data told you to reality that you need to input into your own brain too. And that is, I think, the thing that is missing at this football club right now. And I don't know why. I don't know why they, feign, ignorance in regards to that. But honestly, man, it's kind of annoying at the end of the day. Joseph thinks he's the right man. Joseph, if you want to give your thoughts and opinion as to why, bro, listen, I'm here for it. And again, I don't know if you came in, if you didn't come in earlier, Joseph. I said at the end of the day, I'm questioning this decision heavily. But at the end of the day, bro, you gotta back him. He's the man at the end of the day, innit? So you gotta back him. Until I see Chilwell left wing or something like that again, or something crazy like that I saw under Pochettino, he has my support. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna be like one of those guys where it's gonna be like, yeah, if he loses the first 5 games, I'm not gonna be onto him. You know what I mean? If he loses the first 5 games in spectacular fashion, and I'm seeing everything is cooked, yeah, then that's what I'm saying. Then you have to be onto him. But if I'm seeing a change in the philosophy change, I'm starting to see a style of play being built up, I'm seeing the players are improving and everything like that, then I'm fine. Then I'm happy to accept that because I can at least understand where he's coming from. But again, not everyone's going to be the same. Big up to my guy Jez. He's saying Enzo Fernandez in the 10. If I see that, yeah, Enzo Fernandez in the 10, he's getting sacked day one. No cap. You know what I mean? No cap, bro. Why didn't Igbali just overrule the sporting directors? Why are they going to do walk? Oh yeah, just because they've done such great jobs to hire managers. The thing is, Summer Safa, if you are to believe, so the way that Simon Jordan and Matt Law, all these guys go, they say it's a collaborative process. They're trying to obviously, give these sporting directors the power to do the sporting decisions at the end of the day. So they brought them there to do their job. And if they've given them Enzo Maresca, that's the guy in it. So they said Enzo Maresca, that's the guy that we believe in. And if you're, and if you're the owners and you've said to them, you are the sporting directors, we believe your sporting choices, you got to accept it at the end of the day, bro. You got to accept it. Otherwise, you're saying the structure that you've built is basically based on a false pretense at the end of the day. That's all I have to say. Well, I've missed off so many of the comments. So many comments coming in. Sorry, guys. All the best for Chelsea, obviously. Max says, I rather even De Zerbi. Personally, again, I always said De Zerbi was my main choice. I think Amorim, great manager. I like him. I just think, again, that some of I feel like the way the current midfielders we have and his style of play, I don't think would have gelled well. That's the only issue I had with Amorim. And in my personal opinion. So, but you know what? I hear that point. Big up to Dataroj. He says, why would elite players like James stay at Chelsea without Champions League? It's clear this manager can't get us top 4 this season. And if five next season, then players will move, ain't it? This is a good, again, Dataroj, bro. I don't disagree with you, bro. The issue, I feel like, it is so wrong here of the football club to put real pressure, by the way, on the team, on this manager to get top 4 and some level of trophy or to compete for it, because he's just come from the championship. You need to give this guy time to gel in, to bed in his tactics. You know what I mean? And especially the fact that he's a young manager and he's inexperienced. So, we can't be, pushing it down our throats and going, you know what I mean? Come on, do the job. You know what I'm saying to you? You can't do that at all. So, again, big up to my guy Keyshawn, bro. Hope you're doing well. Hope you were watching the wrestling last night too, bro. Reece James in goal. Oh my goodness me. Big up Prime. Big up to my guy Oliver. Hey Oliver, bro, if you're available and you want to come on, let me know, bro, in the comments or on Twitter. The usual place. Igbali shouldn't overrule the sporting directors. Otherwise, yes, that's what I said. Yeah, exactly. These owners are so smart. We underestimate their intelligence. They played 4D chess, gave us some random names, so making him the new coach. But the thing is, Zubair, if I may say so, he was kind of one of the first after McKenna that were like, Chelsea speaking of Ipswich in regards to McKenna, and that was on Friday. So clearly they've been doing this behind the scenes, throwing a few smoke bombs here and there, and they got it done. So listen, fair play to them at the end of the day. Fair play to them. Big up to my guy Ceniac, bro. Hope you're doing well. He says, I think Joe Shields led the higher, to be honest. They worked towards City, and I believe his power is growing and the club. I hear you, but I can hear that point. But I think at the end of the day, bro, Joe Shields is a scout, bro. I don't know. He's a chief scout. He shouldn't really be having this level of power unless you're trying to make him a sporting director. If he's doing these decisions, Joe Shields, he should be a sporting director for us. He shouldn't be a chief scout at this point. That's just my personal opinion, though. So it doesn't make sense. I'd be Maresca, an SD out. Oh my goodness me, crazy man, that's insane. 3 months of talking to Poch, and he didn't even fit the style of play they wanted, bro. That's what I'm saying. You know, listen, man, these directors, man, they need to go. I can't lie to you, bro. This means we are going for Elise. Joshua gets more power. I would agree if that's the case again. He should be a sporting director of the football club. That's what I'm gonna say. If you're given this much power to him as a chief scout, why not just call him sporting director? That's what I have to say, man. Personally, how is it clear we can't get top 4? I think Keyshawn, the point I'm trying to make, I think it's unfair on Maresca to be putting top 4 on a guy, who's gonna be his first time at top 6 club with the style of play, with him needing time to implement his style of play and do all of that stuff. You know, there's inexperience involved there. I think it's kind of unfair to be asking to get top 4. I didn't say we can't make it, but it's unfair on the manager though, on him particularly. So that's all I have to say on that one. James can't even stay fit. Yeah, listen, James, man. James need to get 5 games in under the belt. Then we say, okay, listen, let James get 5 games under the belt before we start talking about, whether or not he can handle the business. That's all I have to say, man, personally. But we move. But because we gotta wait and see, of course. That's Raj also says. Yeah, it's clear, that these owners want to turn a club into okay. I know this point. I don't disagree with this, by the way. Again, that's Raj. I don't know if you know this, my friend, but I actually agree with this school of thought. I've always believed in this. I've always believed personally in the school of thought of bringing up these players, improving them, but then you stick with them. I've always said, if the club can do an improved version of RB Leipzig, where we keep the top prospects at our club for a very long time, and they become world-class star players at our club, then that's the ideal situation. And then the guys that don't make it or want to leave, you sell. It's a simple model. It works, and also it means you don't have to spend that much money on transfers. So. Bro, that's the thing is Ceniac, bro. That's what I'm saying. Why is he called Chief Scout then in Ceniac, bro? Why is he called Chief Scout? I don't understand why you call him Chief Scout at this point. Let's call him Joe Shields sporting director too. You know what I mean? You got 3 sporting directors and managers. Let's leave it. You know what I mean? That's all I have to say on that one, bro. So it's unfair on the manager, not the players. Again, keyword is not the players, but the manager. It's unfair on him. Like, it's not unfair to go for top 4 of these players. The players know each other. It'd be easier for the man to adapt these players, but I'd rather it be an experience. The reason why I'm saying it's unfair. I'm not saying it's unfair to the players. With these players, I'm saying it's unfair on him though, because he needs to. We don't know what level of on the to timeline he is as a manager. Is he going to be one of those guys that's got it straight away, that understands the stuff, that knows how to do the stuff? I think that's something that we have to think about firstly. Secondly, we talk about experience a lot. He doesn't have the necessary experience, so again, it's going to take him a bit of time to understand his surroundings as well. So that's the 2 things I would have to say for sure. But again, I hear it, man. Oliver, bro, what are you saying? Do you agree with that point I was making about it kind of being unfair on the coach necessarily, but on the coach, my personal opinion?
Johnny, I've actually wrote a comment before I came on, but I'll just reiterate anyway. So, it's kind of like the way I see it. It's okay. I understand it being unfair because it's unfair based on the level that Maresca has worked at in his career. I understand that. But when Poch can get us, and by the way, our prospects for top 4 next season entirely depend on both how we improve as a team in the transfers and also how our competitors improve as well. And depending on the way that goes, we could be in a feasible position to get there. And I just look at the fact that Potts got there by doing vibe tactics and terrible in-game management for the whole season, and he was 5 points off. So if Maresca can fix that and also handle the pressure of being at a club of this level, then it should really be no problem. But there are several variables there at the same time.
So I wanted to just say, so Secret Summer Surfer, it is true that Lawrence Trier wanted Sebastian Hoeneß, but Hoeneß himself didn't want to leave Stuttgart. Apparently, he wants to stay at Stuttgart for another season, and I think he's doing something similar to Xabi Alonso, where he wants to get another season of experience before I think he moves on to another club or like another showing where he can show that he can do it back to back. Some of these managers are doing the thing of like where they're trying to go back to back essentially and show we have the ability and the mentality to be and maintain ourselves at the top level. That's the one thing I will say. Oliver, would they have to sell Sterling and Conor Gallagher this summer? They don't have to sell anyone apparently, and apparently we don't need to sell even Gallagher this summer apparently. But we know
they should be selling them, but will they?
No, for FFP, for FFP reasons. I was trying to make.
I mean, they should just be selling Sterling anyway because he's not good enough. But will they though? Because of, will the interest be there with his wages and stuff?
Exactly. That's something you have to consider too, and also especially with these guys when they're on 3 years deals left, the transfer money that's left that's been amortized to you, that's gonna go into the transfer value that you're gonna get for a guy like Sterling. But guys, just before this, oh, 1 second, bear with me. I just want to meet this. I'm gonna listen. We're gonna see an aura video. You know what I mean? Every manager's got this now these days. The aura video. You know what I mean? 33 seconds. Let's see if you feel the aura, man. I want to hear everyone in the comments. Have a nice little watching. Let's start it now. Oh snap! Listen, let's hear it now. You know, I want to hear if you can hear the aura first and foremost. Let me know. Can you feel the aura? Let me know, man. Trophies, holding trophies.
Tapping the badge. The Yodas will love that, man.
You know what I mean? Moving around in this field. Interesting, man. He's got a flare of the mouth. Postecoglou level, yeah? Is that what you're saying? All right, man. So that's the one that we're looking at right there. So how are we feeling, man? How are we feeling about that video? After watching that video, are we feeling the aura, man? Are we feeling some aura? That's what I need to do that first. You know what I mean? Some people, you know what some of these guys are like, bro. So, I actually wanted to bring this comment up. By the way, this is actually a really good comment. By the way, so in regards to, I know a lot of people have been talking about transfer control and whether or not he likes it or not. This is something that apparently he said at Extra Leicester, apparently. So Enzo Maresca was asked about transfers on the 10th of May. His response: No, I'm not asking for more control. Absolutely not. I am asking just to be able to do my job, and I'm being paid for. No more than that. So clearly, he's not a guy that's going to be looking for control at the very least in terms of transfer control. Probably just wants guys that are going to be able to play, to be able to play in the system. So it is what it is.
Man, what a novel concept. The guy just wants to do his job and not overstep his boundaries. I mean, who would have thought that could exist?
You know what, guys? Yeah, I actually got this little thread on him because I know that. Listen, I don't have that much knowledge on Mr. Enzo Maresca. I'm pretty sure that you guys probably don't. He passes the auto test. Is that so, Adrian? Okay, Adrian. Big up to you, my friend. Seems that Adrian is very pleased with my guy. You know what I mean? He said my gaffer. So big ups to him. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. At the end of the day. But just give me one hot moment. Obviously, as you can see, so this is a thread made by, I think, Cool RNNER about De Zerbi. So this is him. I'm going to read some of it, and then you guys can also obviously get some of it too. This man just... Okay, so we don't care. So Maresca's playing career is worth exploring. He started at Cagliari, that in Division 2 Italy. He's played in English football, it seems. Played for Juventus as well, it seems, at one point. He's playing under Ancelotti, so definitely got some Ancelotti, you know what I mean? Maybe Ancelotti's giving us some juice, you know what I mean, in the early years, you know what I mean? So maybe something's happened there. But how has this shaped his managerial career? Nothing much, bro, you know. Listen, I don't know that there's that, but He's a good coach. Everyone going Spanish, eh? He's not Spanish. He's Italian. Social. Big up to you, though, bro. Thanks for tuning in. It's much appreciated, bro. Poch also had Aura back last year in preseason. If Enzo does actually get the job, he will just wait until the season actually begins before Chelsea fans jump to conclusions. I don't know. Listen, Prime. I don't know where you got the Poch Aura from, but if that's what you,
most waffle comments that he made, if you.
But listen, man, that's not Aura, man. I again, one thing I'm gonna say, Maresca probably will have a press conference, by the way, guys, within this week. Probably, I'll probably put my bet on a Wednesday.
At the very least, an interview.
Yeah, he will have an interview or something like that. I do again, guys. You know, I remember when Poch came, right, and people were going insane, crazy. They're going, you know what I mean? For Poch, we all know what I'm talking about. All right, chill. You know what I mean? These guys in these interviews and stuff, they're gonna say crazy stuff to be able to get you guys on board. You know, people seem to forgot, what when Poch came in, Chelsea, you must win, nothing more, just win. You know what I mean? We're here to be winners. It was even to what last 20 years, Chelsea have been the most successful club. Again, you know what I mean? You're gonna hear a lot of these buzzwords. At the end of the day, you man have to be looking again. You man have to be looking at the way he plays, his style of play, the stuff that he's doing on the pitch. Simple as that, man. That's what you're gonna judge him on. I'm not gonna judge him on what he says in the interviews. I'm gonna judge him on is the team working, is the team playing well. That's what you have to judge. That's what you have to judge him on. Simple as that for me personally. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you would agree if that comment to you, Oliver. Huh, Oliver?
Yeah.
Yeah, because listen, at the end of the day, man, I personally don't want to be hearing or seeing, or hearing, seeing, or anything talking about, oh, look at this, Poch, look at this, man, look at this magic that he's producing. I don't want to hear that, man. I just want to see results at the end of the day. And, you know, yes, I'm going to give him time. Yes, I'm going to give him minutes. Boom! But breaking news! Simon Johnson, he's hit us. The athletic bomber has hit us like crack, boys. And that is Chelsea have made an official approach for Enzo Maresca. It is thought he'll be offered a minimum 2-year contract. Do you know how crazy this is again? They're giving him another Poch deal. So this is essentially a 1-year deal, by the way.
This is hilarious. It just shows they don't even trust their own talent.
They don't even trust the sporting directors, bro.
So why are they here?
This is crazy, man. How can you give him a 2-year deal, by the way? For me, this is crazy. I've never heard... Unless you don't trust them, man. What? He's only getting a 2-year deal. If he accepts a 2-year deal, by the way, he's a crook too, by the way. He's a crook. If he accepts a 2-year deal, he is a crook. I can't. How can you give him a 2-year deal, by the way? Like
maybe it's a 2+1.
Even no, but if you're just giving him a 2-year deal, by the way, +1, by the way, will just be and will be like a mutual choice, by the way. So if you're only saying we trust you only for 2 years, that means if you give him only a 2-year deal, that means you only trust him for 1 season. You want to see what he does in 1 season, and then you only have 1 year left in his deal, and then you can just.
I'd personally give a 3-year deal.
But no, listen, I hear you, but that for me, that just shows that you don't even believe in him, bro. The fact you're only giving him essentially a 2-year deal for me more than likely means that you want to see how he plays out for 1 season. After that, you can bin him off basically because the +1 will be it doesn't need to come into account, and then just 1 year bang. You know what I'm saying to you? Minimum is 2. So if it's minimum 2, there might not even be a 3rd year because he's saying it's just minimum 2. I'll have to look at the actual article. I can't show the article online because otherwise, like, you know, they will come for me, man. They will come for me for sure. So I need to be careful on that one. But just quickly, let's read some of your comments. Bear with me for one hot moment. It says same old crap. Nah, 2 years is okay though, to be fair. Again, bro, 2 years for me more than likely means, that they don't trust his school of thought, A. And B, they want to see what he does in 1 season first. Now, again, this for me, you know, again, this is the problem for me, by the way, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, Oliver, is that why we just not getting an experienced guy then instead?
Because the experienced options are terrible.
But no. But the point I'm trying to make is, you might as well just go back to Tuchel at this point. If you don't trust this guy, and I know you guys have problems with Tuchel. This is me. The anti-Tuchel is talking, We start, you know what I mean? This is like, there's anti-Christ and anti-Tuchel, bro. Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're basically, he is correct, by the way. You're basically doing what you're doing with Poch, where you're saying to him, I don't trust you with this project. I want to see what you do in 1 year. If you can do something good in 1 year, afterwards, we'll give you a new deal again.
I'll tell you what it feels like to me, like all of these manager appointments that they've made in terms of permanent options, except Pochettino, but I'm looking at like Maresca and Potter. They're all flavour of the month, if you know what I mean. Like
that's what I'm saying, though, bro.
Everyone was raving about Potter back in 2022, and we were even linked to Kieran McKenna, who everyone's raving about now. It's kind of like they go for people whose stocks are high right now, and I can't lie. It will be very difficult for Thomas Tuchel's stocks to be any lower than they are right now, to lose the Bundesliga after an 11-peat and then finish third behind Stuttgart. His stocks are on the floor. Maybe that has something to do with it, like just based on the trend of what they're looking at.
Social says the coach is good. 2-year deal makes sense. He doesn't get to buy players. It's a win-win. He can leave if he doesn't like it. Again, bro, I don't disagree with you, but like, if we're being honest, they're saying they want a guy that's gonna be here for the long term. They want a guy that's gonna be able to collaborate with them, right? So why are we only giving this guy a 2-year deal then? That means to me.
Have they ever said that specifically about the manager? They want the manager long term.
Yes, they said that, bro. I can bring those quotes up, by the way. I know they said that.
Okay, if you want to, because the impression I have with it is that they said the project is long term, and the project is not the manager. I'm just trying to make that difference. But if you have those quotes, then feel free to bring them up.
Fabrizio's tweet is a 2+1, by the way.
So yeah, it's the same deal as Poch got.
Yeah, so this is it. So understand, Chelsea and Enzo Maresca are set to agree on contract terms. 2-year deal with an option for third season on 3 years. 3-year deal. This is the final details being clarified. Maresca has already said yes to Chelsea product. Up to the clubs now to agree on compensation. So there's that.
Why are we agreeing on compensation? There's a clause.
I think they're trying to get less. They're trying to do less.
Oh, well, that's not going to happen, is it?
Fair enough. Is that so, Prime? Maybe not. I need to have a look for those quotes, but I'll have a look for it later on, probably, because I'm probably going to do another stream, probably like 9 p.m. or stuff like that. Once this is done, again, just with a few more guys. But at the end of the day, man, I just personally do not believe, if you believe in a manager, you don't do this, man, and that's all I have to say, man. But it just that's just for me personally. But we're probably gonna end at 3:00, bro, because then that's when Lewis starts. So I want to give Lewis, his time, if that makes sense. Vladimir's Prime, what part of the project are we in? The problem for me again, and I'm gonna repeat this again, when it comes to this. Let me share this inside because Simon Johnson's done it himself. Obviously, the announcements are probably going to be by the end of the week once they agree compensation. So probably again, as I said before, you're looking at Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for the announcement for Chelsea to be made in regards to Enzo Maresca. But listen, man, second season big up to my guy Joe, man. I haven't seen you today, my brother. Hope you're doing well. But listen, again, seems that this is the case. This seems like this is now happening. Seems to be moving quite fast, at the very least. But I'm just, again, it's kind of tiring, bro, man. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. You know what I mean? Listen, I hope Lavia can stay fit. Maybe we can see the best of Lavia from this guy. But, it's been a long while. But you see, like, look at, like, the thing is, by the way, Di Marzio was spot on, by the way. He's got his juice back, by the way. Di Marzio's got his juice back. Di Marzio always said that he was the number one option. And he said that on Thursday, by the way. All right, so Di Marzio, he's got his juice back, man. He's got his lick back. He's really up to the sources, so big up to him, man. Enzo Maresca has a pre-existing knowledge of the Chelsea current squad. That impressed Chelsea alongside his obsession with possession and positional play. Now, it's all well and good having positional play, a lot of positional play and possession, but again, as we've seen with a many a team, possession for possession's sake is not going to work. So hopefully, his tactics work, and hopefully, we're able to get something out of it at all. But you know what? There's a bunch of you here. I asked this yesterday. I'm going to ask the audience once more. 1, if you think he will succeed. 2, if you think he will not succeed. And I'll repeat again. Number 1, do you think Enzo Maresca will succeed? Number 2, if you believe Enzo Maresca will not succeed at this football club, please. And then I'm going to wait for you guys to put those numbers in the chat, please. Because, again, I'm just looking at it. I'm trying to see, whether or not, anything's going to happen. Nothing yet. Obviously, as you can see, he's worked with these two guys before. That's one of the reasons, right? They've said that before previously. 2 will even do worse than last season, according to Joe. Adrian doesn't believe in him. Interesting. You will have Jude second season. You have a 3. I don't care. Just win. Wow. Star Slayer, thank you for breaking. Yeah, I agree. That's Raj, by the way. It's a lot of buzzwords. I just want to see something happens. EE says, yeah, I know, but let's see if it works, bro. You know what I'm saying, man? Again, Joe Shields needs to be, I don't know if you heard me, Oliver. Joe Shields needs to be a sworn director if they're giving him power to make these choices, by the way. So he needs to be sworn director at this point. If you're giving him that much power and that much belief to be able to do what he needs to do, you should be giving him, you should be making a sworn director. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. Obviously, again, you know what Chelsea's like. They got all of their guys. They got everything done. I'm just tired, bro. I can't believe, after everything, they've chosen him. You know what I mean? De Zerbi, man, he's looking like he might actually be going to United now. It seems that might be an option for them. I don't know, bro. What are your thoughts on now De Zerbi not coming in? Would you prefer De Zerbi, or were you an Amarin guy?
I would have preferred De Zerbi, but I was fine with either of the two Italians just based on their philosophies. Really, that's what I was looking at. Amarim is a bit too much of a transition ball kind of guy for me, and like I said yesterday, I don't think our squad suits him either.
Clinton, bro. Big up to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I just don't. I don't agree. I feel like people are putting pressure on him. I don't. Again, I'm actually one of the few that's saying let's not put too much pressure on him. I'm saying we shouldn't be asking for top 4 from this manager. I don't know if you've heard me, bro. We shouldn't be putting too much. We shouldn't be asking for top 4, or even like him to be competing in multiple trophies. You know what I mean? If he just come in and he's got a lack of experience, so I think that's kind of unfair to him. I think the difference with Arne Slot is that Arne Slot should have some pressure because he's been at final and he's been winning there. So, anyone that tells you there's no pressure on Arne Slot is lying to you, my friend. They are lying to you 110%, bro. I can't wait to see the mental gymnastics Scott is going to do on Lewis's shadow to defend this. Oh, my God. Why is Scott getting cooked, bro? You know what I mean? I don't even know if Scott likes it or not. How do you know if Scott likes it or not? You know what I mean? It's a bit unfair to Scott, 10 slag snatching our European chain. Nah. You know what, bro? They're going to get Tuchel. You know what I mean? It's going to be, I think they're going to get either Tuchel or Poch. And if Poch goes there, man, he's probably going to ask for Gallagher. I can see happening. How can you trust a man that nearly bottled the championship with the amount of talent Leicester has? Hey, man. Again, this is he's got a lot of question marks under him. We're just going to have to wait and see what he does in the league. I don't know if you've seen this, Oliver, but apparently they're trying to bring in Seth Fabregas as an assistant to Maresca.
Okay, I'd be fine with that. Again, my thing with Fabregas is that he does not have the managerial experience as a head coach, but as an assistant, which is what he's doing right now, yeah, totally. I don't mind that.
Fair enough.
If Maresca's fine with it, then cool.
Fair enough. But again, man, I think this is a good point by CFC Daily, by the way, because this is I actually agree with you. Nothing against Maresca. Hope he does well and we finally get a manager of stability. But I have a right to be concerned, and so do loads of others. We are on our fourth coach in 3 seasons, and each time the bracket has dropped. And this I actually agree with, yeah. Tuchel, okay, maybe not so much elite, but we'll say Tuchel elite. Or just go for that one? Excited potential Potter, PO proven in Poch, and then championship one on Maresca. And if you deep it, bro, he's not lying. If you deep it, if you look at it like that, and you break it down, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy, bro. Big up to my guy King Mo. At the end, Masui Karna in an article isaga or Shaqaina Chelsea or Hilly Ayarad so socda oo keenaya insha Allah waa arkaynaa laakiin anigu waxaa ku dhihi lahay ninkan hogaan kacabsuani hooshiisa aniga maxaa lahaa maku arkayso dhedheelani saasiga tahay bisan sorry I was just speaking Somalian there. You see that at youth level at City of Pep's number 2 last season during the treble season, went to championship, brought back Leicester. However much I wanted De Zerbi, I'm 100% sold on this guy. That's again Clinton. That's fair enough. That is your that's your opinion. But others may not agree with you, my friend. Sometimes, bro, again, and I always repeat this again. Some people may prefer some level of experience beforehand. So, and I think again, the thing I think here at Chelsea that we're missing here, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, Oliver, too, is risk. The club is taking risk on multiple levels, by the way. There's a high risk of the young players you're bringing in. There's a high risk of the manager you're bringing in. There's a lot of risk you're playing with. And sometimes, sometimes you want to reduce the risk you're taking at the end of the day. Now, again, I've spoken about this, and Oliver's spoken about this multiple times, that the elite manager market is quite small, and the guys that are out there aren't really as appealing as you would like to be, as you would like to be believed. So, I just think it's about trying to mitigate as much risk as possible. But I don't know. What are your thoughts, Oliver?
I agree to an extent, but like when you look at that list that CFC Daily posted, you got Tuchel, who is an elite manager. I'll be honest, the way we started the season under Tuchel wasn't good enough.
Exactly.
So under Clearlake, he failed. I know, like he technically saved us from relegation, but still, for the Chelsea standard, it wasn't good enough. Exactly. Graham Potter, who is supposed to be the exciting up-and-comer who has Premier League experience, he failed. Poch, Premier League proven, former Champions League finalist, League One winner, failed. So it just goes to show that there's no guarantee about anything.
Exactly.
And that's so even if we get an elite manager in, who's to say that they don't fail?
Exactly. I'll reserve judgment until game week 25. That's fair enough. Italian managers do really well at Chelsea. That may be the case, but there's always a guy that bucks a trend. Let's hope it's not him. Chelsea fans need to know that the OG manager era is over. Tuchel third at Bayern, Pep is at City, Klopp is out, Ancelotti at Madrid. Where do fans want? I agree. Again, this is so Clinton. This is something actually we were speaking about. Yeah, I was trying to break down all of these managers. The only guy, that I would argue that if people really wanted this elite manager with experience is, in my personal opinion, again is Allegri. And again, Allegri, you've seen the way that guy goes crazy on the touchline, firstly, and secondly, he's Conte plus. So if you want, and there's no way the guys here at the football club directors and the fans are going to accept that again. So, what was it? Marshall is going to give us the Maresca news in 3 weeks' time. I think we have a stream on Wednesday, actually. We have a stream on Wednesday. You'll see something there, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, we were meant to do an award show on Wednesday, but that's probably been pushed back now because of all this news.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I'm backing my manager at my club, fair enough. We've seen some good, talented players. I don't know if Maresca can take us high up the table. I support him. Yeah, I agree. Again, Lobo, but again, I think what you're saying is what I think everyone here, me, Oliver, and I think the majority of the fan base will have to do. Yeah, we'll support him. Of course, we'll have our reservations, but at the end of the day, if he's picked and he's the gaffer, we're just going to have to support him. And unless he does something crazy, or unless we see the first 5, 6, 7 games that it's just really is like almost like a Frank de Boer at Crystal Palace, then you gotta have to get him out then. Allegri plays haram ball, bro. But Clinton again. That's the thing. If you're willing to accept the haram plus ball, Allegri's your guy. But I know these people. I know the directors don't want it, but I don't think the fan base will accept Allegri ball. They barely accepted Conte ball. You know, Conte almost made me turn off Chelsea. By the way, I literally stopped watching Conte's second season of football because of how bad it was. It was killing me. Yeah, it was killing me, bro, emotionally watching those games. Listen, let's hope he does. Listen, I want him to prove me wrong. Bro. Please. But the reality is, man, a lot of the time with these guys that were experienced, it's going to be... There's a reason why, man, you know, when you're playing all these RPG games, all of these FIFA games, all these stuff games, right? There's EXP, experience points, because the more you play, the more experience you get. When you start, you can't be fighting level 100 dragons if you're like a level 2 paladin. If the board says Maresca's long-term pick, then stick with him. I got issue with the planning long-term, but do it at the opposite. Again, I just don't understand why you give him a 3. Why you give him a 2-year deal then? You just give him a 2-year deal. I know a lot of people are going to say 3 deal, but 3 the other year is optional. So you really give him 2 years to basically get you to where you wanted to get right now. If we're being honest, yeah, you've given the manager 2 years to get you to competing for a title. So you've put the pressure on him immediately, top 4 and titles. And again, for me personally, you can't be putting the pressure on him like that. That's just me. And people can say, "What about we have the players? It's going to be easy like that." But it's all good and good having the players. But the manager himself is a new guy. His tactics, he may need to tweak. He may need to change them. He may not be, as on the ball as others. That's all I have to say, man. If he plays Chilwell on the wing, then I'll sign up for the season. Fair enough, Adrian. I hear you, man.
For more evidence, he won't.
Yeah, well, listen, you never know, man. You know what I mean? These Chelsea guys, man, they keep on doing crazy stuff all the time. Bring me back Potterball. That was beautiful football, but those donkey attackers. Fair enough. Big up to Through TV says, I just hope the manager will improve us in defense. Otherwise, let's hope for the best. Fair enough. Let's back Maresca. He got tactics and has experience winning at a high level. Once a winner, always a winner. The winning gene, bro, never disappears. You're fair enough. I'm actually optimistic for this. So I was optimistic. I said a level 2 paladin. Please get it right. Thank you. Your board wants to skip the process, just wants instant wins. Prepare for else. Fair enough. And Lobo says, that's right. Pressure straight away and easy to get rid of if he doesn't work. That's the thing, Lobo. That's why I said, by the way, this 2-year deal stuff, yeah, is and I want to hear your thoughts if you agree with me with this, Oliver. It now means, by the way, he's expected to get UCL in his first season, by the way. Do you not agree?
Yeah. Well, that's what they brief, regardless of who the manager is.
No, that's not even just the brief. If you're giving him essentially you're giving him a 2-year deal, you're saying to him, in 2 years, I need to compete. That means in year 1, I have to get UCL competition at the very least.
When you say compete, they haven't said anything about the title yet. So
No. But if you're asking for year 1, I want you to get top 4 and to compete for a trophy, right? That's year 1. What is year 2? What does that mean? If you succeed in year 1, what is year 2 going to be then? Exactly, isn't it? That's what I'm saying to you. They're expected by year 2 that they're competing for a title. That's what I'm saying to you. Like it just makes if you already have year 1, I need you to get top 4 and compete for a trophy. That's year 1. If you meet your objectives in year 1, that means year 2's objective is competing for a title and trying to win a trophy essentially.
I mean, we're not far off winning a trophy. I think that the title was completely different. And I understand they're being concerned about that. But listen, we were... If our manager had some balls this season, we would have won a trophy. So, again, like, we're not far off in one aspect. But the title, I hear it. That's too far at the moment.
Fair enough. But listen, man, we move indeed. But listen, Chelsea went from being Broly to sadly, I don't watch DBZ. That's the one anime I actually hate personally. So we move. I can sense the others hating this football like they did on Sorry. Listen, man. RIP Uncle Sorry, man. He was bringing real hoops, but I didn't see the vision, man. You know, man. Every week I cry about the 1 week where he crashed out, bro. That insane crash out week was, man. The 4-0 Bournemouth and then the 6-0 Man City. Yeah, it was unacceptable, but like it was an insane crash out, bro. Insane crash out, by the way. Like, oh my god. I still remember, bro. Do you still remember the days where they were like, what's it called? He ain't Chelsea. You know what I mean? I've never had that for any manager after that, other than him. I don't even know how that even makes sense. But hey, man, we move. Where does Enzo and Caicedo play since we will be inverting a fullback under Maresca? Bro, I don't know, man. Listen, streets are saying Enzo in the 10. You know what I'm saying? Damn, we might see. We should be winning the league by 2026. Pep will be gone, and we'd have world-class talents like Osimhen and Cuckoo, Palm, etc. Fair enough. If that's your opinion, fair enough. She's won't forget Huddersfield at home. 6-0 still. You know what, man? 6-0 can hurt, bro. But I was like, listen, I was just sorry, man. So I was all about Salis the ball. That's all I have to say, man. But Streets will tell you Hazard was carrying us. That's all I have to say, man. No comment. We weren't far off. That's why we should have carried on with Poch. Enzo play better. Yep, I definitely agree with that. Hopefully, the manager Enzo can get player Enzo, to work. That's the key thing I would say at the end of the day. As long as he can do that, because the thing with Poch apparently didn't even know how to use Enzo, which is why the guy was playing Gallagher. So yeah, man, that's what I'm saying, man. Exactly, bro. Listen, I can speak about Sarri, bro, man. You know what I mean? The crimes against Sarri, they will be spoken about one day. That's all I have to say, man. Oh my god. Old man Pedro and Williams think oh my god. I forgot about that, man.
Yeah, but people want to say we were great under Roman recently. Yeah, whatever, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the standard of our squad.
Mm-hmm. So we almost had as many managers as Steve supports clubs. Oh my god. Oh my god, man. This football club is killing me, man. I swear to God. But listen. So, guys, again, let's just recap again for everyone that's watching along. Enzo Maresca is set to become the new Chelsea manager. They've almost agreed a deal now for a 2-year deal plus a 1-year option. Chelsea are probably now speaking of Leicester to negotiate or just pay off whatever his release clause is. I have to say, man, it's kind of crazy, man, that managers have release clauses now. So I'm telling you, man,
that just reflects how important they are in the modern game. It's the same thing as goalkeepers going for 80 million. It's the exact same thing. They're important. They're more important than ever. Systems are important.
All right, I will do, Prime. Give me one moment. I'll send it to you on Twitter, Prime, yeah? While I'm doing that, Oliver, do you have any other thoughts you want to talk about in regards to this that you haven't spoken about as of yet?
Not in particular, really. We just got to get to pre-season now and see what he does there. But again, we got to take that with a pinch of salt because Poch was great in pre-season and look what happened. So we're really kind of just waiting for the main season now, which is 3 months away now. So it's just a waiting game.
Honestly, man, I don't know how I feel, man. Right now, man. Right now, bro, it's I don't know what to say, man. Yeah, Prime, I sent it to you on Twitter, by the way. Should be in your messages and chat. Maresca felt upwards like company. He felt positively upwards at the very least because at least he was actually he won something before he went.
At least he did something, bro. Company got
relegated. Didn't get relegated, man. He didn't. Company got relegated, bro. Company got relegated and felt upwards. That's even crazier. The Bridge, don't get me wrong, I'm not the biggest fan, but the irony is crazy. Javi was a nothing coach before Barcelona took a chance, and there's some people that wanted him. Fair enough. Not gonna lie, we need to hunt at home first game. Wow, if Samantha was gonna cook, damn man. Well, at least he kept it Italian. Wow, buonanotte. If you know what that means, you know what that means. But by this logic, should all of the Bayern Munich would be set since they got nobody company? You know what, bro? If it don't work out, yes. If it don't work out, get him gone. Get him out of here, bro. Copa dominated when he got promoted. Yeah, he did. But then what did he do in the league? Oh, Somali Flame. I 110% agree with this school of thought, by the way. I'm rolling with the punches. I'm just going to be holding it. You know what I mean? Until I see something else happen, I'm just going to be holding it bombastically. You know, and I hope he succeeds. I pray that he succeeds because otherwise, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, bro, it's not looking good for a lot of these guys. Of course they're going to do that, bro. They'll probably do that for every manager every season. That's why they gave him again they give him a 2+1 year deal so that they can review him at the end of the season. If he's met the objectives, he's staying here next year. If not, then you know what I mean. We'll see you next year. Thank you for your services. On to the next manager. For them, the project is more important than the manager, essentially, if that makes sense. They believe in the project more than the pieces of its cogs, essentially.
It's as simple as this. If the project was about the manager, if the project was about the manager / the head coach, we wouldn't be hiring a head coach. We'd be hiring a manager. And we'd allow them to have transfer control.
Exactly.
The manager is just someone there to facilitate the on-the-pitch stuff. Like that. They're interchangeable.
Exactly. And I think also, by the way, we need to also realize this, yeah, and that is that, oh, 1 second. How can, well, listen, projects take time, according to them. You know what I mean? It might be like the creation of the Apple phone, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know, it takes time. You know what I mean? You're not going to get, it's not going to be exactly a hit first time, but, you know, you need to tweak it, improve it, and that's what they need to do, really. I feel like they're waiting for Hona, but I can't lie. But then that's stupid. Then what are we saying? Enzo Maresca, just do a 1 season wonder and then go. At the end of the day, bro, I agree with Lobo. Process is good, all well and good. But again, the thing we criticize Arsenal fans for is because they continue to talk about, oh, we're process, we're improving. They've got a process, everything's working out for us. But at the end of the day, progress has to lead to something. It has to lead to an end product. If you don't have an end product to show for it, the process means nothing.
I think it's easier to criticise the Arsenal fans, though, because with Arsenal, the project is Arteta. It is the manager.
Exactly.
So you can hold him as a singular entity. You can hold him more accountable than anything, really.
You know, that is actually fair. But again, guys, you know, it's a crazy day. Only one way to shut us up is by getting good results consistently. Of course, that's what he's gonna have to do, man. From day dot, he's gonna have to be cooking, bro. He's gonna have to be cooking. He's gonna have to be cooking from day one. To be fair, the bar isn't that high for him for on the pitch stuff after what Poch did XD, but that has to that has to get top 4 on a trophy. Can he deliver? That's what I'm saying. Sefro, I don't know. I feel that's again a bit unfair on him personally, but that's what they're asking for, bro. And that's what again the contract angle for me at the very least looks like that's what they're asking for straight away. 12th to 6th, I reckon we finish 3rd next season. The data doesn't lie. Trying to think positively and think like the owners. All right, buddy. Well, 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2, 3. The season after, 3 divided by 2, 1.5, yeah? So that's second place, basically. I hear you, man. I love it. I love it. I like the idea, man. I like the idea. The muffin. Ray Island says, I am hyped for preseason now. I can't lie to you, man. My hype, I'm not hyped for any preseason, man. I'll be honest, man. You know, after what Poch did, you can never be hyped for preseason, man. He killed preseason love. My biggest concern is the players buying into his methods after the dad got fired. Again, bro, at the end of the day, man, football is about at the end of the day, bro, you're an employee. You know, if your manager gets fired, that you like, yeah, it's all well and good. But listen, at the end of the day, man, that's happened. You got to move on. You got to keep it professional. I don't know if you agree with that, Oliver.
No, I do. I don't care what these players think. I'm happy that we didn't listen to them being all happy that with Poch, because at the end of the day, like they don't run the football club. They're in it for themselves. They're in it to be happy themselves. So like they'll think what they want, but at the end of the day, it's not always going to be in the best interest of the club. And at the end of the day, if any of these guys want to follow Poch, then they can feel free, because I don't care for any of them, to be honest. Like for the most part, they haven't achieved anything at this club.
100%, bro.
So why am I to have any attachment to them and beg for them to stay?
Spain, man, Spain. Listen, again, Chelsea Football Club had a guy called Roman Abramovich, which all of you guys know very well. Do you know what he did? He sacked Jose Mourinho, and there were guys crying in the dressing room when they heard that he got sacked. You know what I mean? Listen to the John Owen Mikel podcast. He will literally, you will hear all of them talk about that. And then, guess what happened after that? After that, we had Ancelotti get sacked just in the tunnel. Big boy Carlo Ancelotti, Don Carlo. You know what I mean? My personal favorite Chelsea manager for the 09-10 season that he gave me got cooked, got sent. You know what I mean? That's the football club that Chelsea Football Club is, by the way. You know what I mean? Killers. So I don't know why people are surprised by that. Start of the season has to be cooking straight away. I think we'll finish about the same as this season. Fair enough. Yes, we get that. It's a business, but these guys are young. Look at Jackson, for example. But listen, big up to Jackson. Listen, you know I'm Jackson's biggest fan, but just because they're young doesn't mean they can't mature. There aren't Mbappe level players. We shouldn't care how they feel exactly. As I already know when this new fixture list gets released. I think it gets released in July, if I'm not mistaken. You were winning stuff, though, bro. People are going to look back at them side of disappointment. You knew when the helicopter was landing at Cobham, your second was coming. Carlo the Don, 100%, man. Big up Don Carlo, man. I'm very happy for where he is right now, man. He's a real one still, man. He's a real one, man. He's a real one still. But listen, guys, give me some of your questions, because I'm going to end the stream in the next 5 minutes. So I want to hear some of your I want to hear what your thoughts and opinions are. Give me some questions, bro. Oh, 18th of June, thanks for letting me know. But I want to hear I want to hear from you. Give me some questions that you want to ask me, bro. Because, I feel like this is pretty much it. I might do a stream at the end of the day, probably 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. again, to discuss whether or not, we need to talk about, obviously Here We Go, and maybe some of the stuff of the reasoning that we probably get from the Athletic article. So, because the Athletic, bro, they're going to be getting that full news from like the Chelsea directors about why they picked him. Do you think Maresca gets sacked if we finish in the same exact spot or lower? That's a good question. If we finish in the exact same spot and we don't win a trophy, I think you'll get sacked. That's just my personal opinion. I think that will happen. What do you think, Oliver? Do you agree with that or not?
I think it depends on the context. Because
true. That absolutely depends on the context. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like the league was terrible this season, and it was entirely realistic to expect top four this season. I mean, whether they're flexible with that or not remains to be seen. But like, if we have a blinder of a season, we're still nowhere near it. Like, if we say the owners have a points or the directors have a points target, we hit that, but we're still nowhere near. Okay, well that just means the rest of the league was good. So you've hit your target without actually. You've hit your target without actually getting to the Champions League or whatever. So, I mean, from there, it's just speculation on whether or not the owners and the directors will be flexible on that aspect. For me,
fair enough. Keyshawn says, "You think Maresca might want to bring in a player of his like Dewsbury Hall?" I don't know I know that the ownership looked at Dewsbury Hall previously. Again, remember he's not involved in transfers, by the way. So he'll be probably say, I want this type of player. There's been, I don't know if you know Keyshawn, but there's been rumors about Eze, apparently, that the club are trying to also get Eze and Olise. So, You never know. Maybe they bring in an Eze type of player into the team to help him out.
Also, we already have one of his players.
Yeah. Give us the goalkeeper target. I said Bolka from Nice, by the way, because he, for me, there's a connection there with the football club already, and you probably can get him for a better price than you can get for Bento, in my personal opinion. Do you think he'll go for a new? Yeah, I've said that. Yeah, I think we probably will. Sanchez apparently is already on the chopping block, so he's gone. Who needs to be sold? I've always maintained this. Raheem the Dream, he needs to go. In terms of Kukurea,
why don't we make the list of who we should keep? Because that might be shorter.
No. It's only 5. There's only 5 guys that need to go. Kukurea, Chilwell. In terms of midfielders, I don't really think anyone needs to leave. Probably again, I think Chalobah probably was going to leave, I'm afraid, even though I don't want him to be sold. But that's just the reality we've got to face. Sterling needs to go, and Mudryk loan. Simple as that, really. Anyone else want to add?
I mean, other than the obvious ones like Lukaku, no.
No. What is the fair expectation for Enzo? Again, I would say if he can get top 6 this season and he competes really well in a few trophies, then I think that's a good season for him as a manager. So, but again, the issue is that a good season for the squad though. So that's what he gets. Should Enzo be sold if Maresca can't use him in our midfield? You know, I'm gonna let Oliver take this one first because that's great. I don't know how to. That was a complicated answer.
I think for me it depends. Like, I mean, because you have to look at how Maresca uses. Like, we can look at what Poch did and say, oh, well, Poch couldn't use him. Yeah, but Poch didn't use him properly. If Maresca gives Enzo the facilities and the players around him and the setup to perform, and he doesn't, that's when I think you can start having a conversation. When you give the player everything he needs and he doesn't use it. I don't know about you, Ahmed, but I think that's being the most fair you can be to a player.
If you can't, for me, yeah, if he tries to use him in his best position and it doesn't work, then eventually.
If Enzo Maresca plays Fernandes in the 10, then I'm not going to sell Enzo based on that because that's stupid.
Exactly, yeah. That is exactly. But man, bring us as Enzo is going to work better with him than Poch. I probably agree. Dalot as a marquee signing. No, he's not marquee for me.
Even Ahmed wouldn't say that's marquee.
That's not marquee. I think again, Dalot Nation. Again, for me, I've always said you probably need a right back, emergency cover, just in case. Because all up to Reece James, but I can't trust him to play 10 games in a row for me, right? So you need to have the contingency plan. You can just probably get someone from the academy to do that job for you. Now, I was saying for the left back roles, again, Loco from Brest is a great option, and then you can get Karkaz as well. You can get 2 new left backs, in my opinion, and then you can just have them fight out for whoever's going to be the better left back, in my personal opinion, and that would work much better. And they're both better than Kukurea. You know what I mean? So Kukurea can hold that. Depending on if Maresca stays long term, why sell Enzo if you get rid of Maresca at the end of the season? Exactly. So, and Cignac definitely is not on the donation hype. Don't worry, man. What? I'll make sure Cignac sees the vision for Delo one day, man. I'll make sure that the world sees the donation. You know what I mean? Love and trust. I know a lot of the man them hate on my guy, but it ain't easy. But guys, I think I'm going to end it here because I think Lewis is about to start his stream. So listen, guy, Delo can't even listen. Delo can mark a lot of these cards, bro. Listen, all I'm saying, man, my guy Delo, he's got FA Cup, man. Hold that, Sonani. Hey, man, thank you, Lobo. Again, thanks for enjoying the stream. But again, guys, I'm probably going to call it here for today. I'll probably do another stream just in case if it does get confirmed today. If there's any more other big news, you'll probably see me here for sure. Or if not, tomorrow I'll probably try to do an analysis video or like a live analysis video for you guys, looking over Enzo Maresca, his tactics and style of play. But again, guys, I've been your host, the Bridge 258. That has been my co-host, Oliver.